Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload, as you can tell by the title of this video, we'll be talking about the pattern that will be occurring across the United States and the possibility for really more than just one storm. Several large storm systems, and one of them being actually a hybrid-like storm, which hasn't occurred in a very long time. So that's definitely something that is interesting. Also, there will be probably 3 or 4 storms in a long range, except the title of today's video is probably just going to mention 2 because those are the storms we will focus the most on. So that's the reason as of why the title is that way. If you guys would like to subscribe to this channel, consider doing so. Obviously, after you watch the video, check out the channel. We're a weather fan. We're a weather page on here. We just do this. I talk about the weather and we interact with each other and see what stuff we could kind of talk about. So consider subscribing if you're a weather fan or just want updates on your forecast. And if you would like to like the video, that would be amazing. If you're a returning viewer, that would be awesome. So let's get into this. Right now, let's start off by looking at pivotalweather.com. This is a great website, so if you guys want to check out, if you don't have a European model, this website actually includes a European model, shows precipitation, snowfall, rainfall, and it got included only a few years ago, only last year. So this is pretty new. So definitely pivotalweather.com, great website, nice layout, easy to work around, and just one of the many great websites I use. So notice that right now we have a storm system across the Northeast. I made a video about that. There are a few storm systems that are going to be, or storm clusters, if you will, are going to be coming across the Northeast. Doesn't look too severe. It's really going to be mainly impacting portions of southeastern Canada with some widespread rain and some thunder showers. Again, it doesn't look severe, but the storm does intensify pretty rapidly, and it does become a pretty large storm. You can see 993, 991, and it does generate a lot of wind. But otherwise, after that, we get a moment of peace. You can see a little disturbance tries making its way across the country. It really just is unsuccessful. Notice this storm right over here is still spinning, and this thing is a beast at that point. It's very strong. It will have strong winds, so that's definitely a concern. This storm right here, really weak, and of course we have our Laura right here, possible hurricane. It may be even stronger than a Category 2, so we'll have to see about that. But again, for that, go to the National Hurricane Center, National Weather Service for more info. And if you guys would like to check out the video I did about that, you can just go to videos, and it's like the video right before this. I talked about this storm. But this video is to focus on things going outside of this event right here. So notice that this system that originally tried making it into the Northeast does, and it kind of fades away. But here's where the first storm comes in play. It actually has to do a great amount with this bad boy right here, or bad girl, based off the name. So Laura is strong. It moves up into the United States, and it drags a lot of moisture with it. Kind of gathers all the moisture and just throws it into the United States. And we have a system that starts developing at around a similar time across the northern United States. Now, most likely these systems would not be would not become a large system if these didn't interact. But because of the perfect timing, you can see this storm becomes pretty large, pretty strong. We still see the remnants of at this point, most likely a tropical depression. Obviously not a hurricane this far inland. But then you could see, we also see quite a bit of precipitation across the northern United States, kind of the Great Lakes, Wisconsin. We see a lot of clusters. And then these two systems actually combine and they move across the Northeast. And you can see almost like this hurricane remnants get incorporated with the cold front of this storm. And you can see that we have the main low right here. The parent low kind of dissipates. We have a second one that comes in and uses the moisture from this hurricane as its cold front. You can see that sweeps across the Northeast. Lots of rain, lots of showers, and this would be occurring somewhere around the next weekend. Now again, that is still fairly far out, except the reason is that I'm talking about this far out. The models have been consistently showing this, the European, the Canadian, the GFS, and they've really been showing it so consistently that it's just hard not to talk about it. Again, this is a potential, but it definitely is a pretty high potential. And again, this isn't looking to be a devastating event. I mean, just lots of rain, and really this will be more of a good thing than a bad thing, since these don't look awfully severe, but I mean, it is late summer, kind of getting to the fall time, so there definitely will be some severe storms, some heavy wind, or heavy rain, strong winds, maybe some hail, but, a lot of these areas are parched. They need water. So that would definitely bring quite a nice relief. You know, a lot of these areas kind of need that rain, if you will, and that passes through, right? So if you don't get rain with that system, you're okay, because we get a beast of a storm coming across southern Canada, and this thing just, by the way, this storm will be impacting portions of southeast Canada as well. You can see the large cities right there also getting impacted: Labrador, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia. It moves off into southeastern Canada and provides lots of precipitation. Now, if you were to look at the next couple of days right after the storm, you can see this is already still the weekend, and we already have another storm developing. We see lots of showers and little cells developing. These could be severe. These are definitely where it's most dangerous, as they're out in the plains. The conditions are just very favorable. You can see right through Saskatchewan, we see lots of bands of, Manitoba, we see lots of bands of rain, showers. Don't look severe as they do across the portions of the plain, but that definitely has to be watched for. Notice we see this system move to the south. It transforms itself a little bit further to the south, and with that, it really just kicks up a lot of moisture across the plains. And again, this is right after this first system, so it would be better if these two systems came a bit further apart, as you know, we do need the rain, we do need the precipitation, but two at once, and if you get slammed by the first one, you could get a double whammy kind of from the second one as well. And you can see some mountain snow across Yellowstone, the Grand Tetons definitely is going to be occurring. Wyoming also seeing some precipitation, but just look, this is some pretty expansive rainfall we have here, and we see that little system that delivers snow across Wyoming kind of combined with the remnants of this cold front, and it grows stronger, and we just see a huge surge of moisture across the United States, just a massive surge. And you can see that the cold front is just very wide, very strong. This is just like a classic fall storm. This would be September 2nd, and just very impressive amount of precipitation. The precipitation shield is just giant, and then we kind of see a Clipper-like storm track back through. That may or may not be significant, we'll have to see, but definitely a very active pattern. And the biggest concern right now is obviously the Gulf Coast, but even after that, we will be looking at an active pattern. And in terms of the precipitation, let's just look at it. Total QPF, quantitative precipitation forecast, and notice that we have a lot of yellows, lots of reds, and a lot of these colors do portray, they look very bright and severe. Really, it's just the yellow colors that are kind of where we get into those really high amounts. You can see 9-8 inches, especially where the remnants track through. But even elsewhere across central Manitoba, right there, we see central Saskatchewan, we see 3 to 4 inches. Into Ontario, we see widespread 1 to 2. Southeastern Canada, right there, 3, 4, definitely isolated amounts of 5, and you can see parts of the Northeast also getting a lot of rain. So you may be wondering, how much, is this sound, is this forecast, how accurate is this? The problem with this is that the storm, while it may be more widespread, the rain, than we've seen really for a while, because usually summer storms bring scattered thunderstorms, and those can hit or miss wherever they want, and they could drop a lot of rain in a small location. But a couple of miles over, they could drop nothing. This storm will be a bit more widespread, so generally you have a pretty good shot of seeing a good amount of rain if you live east of the Mississippi. Now, of course, there will be areas that see more, areas that see less. That's just how weather works. You can see that the coastal Northeast, really the Mid-Atlantic, may not be in for a lot of rain, but again, if those remnants from that storm do appear to be a bit more influenced possibly by some more moisture from the tropics, then maybe a bit more rain could occur across these locations. But definitely the Ohio Valley, southern Indiana, Ohio, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Michigan, lots of rain, and that's good news. But notice the West is just really unfortunate. They're staying dry, and that's where they have a lot of the drought. And if you were to look at the temperatures, there's a good chance of cool temperatures. Unfortunately, not across the South. By the way, let me tell you, right now we're looking at record-breaking temperatures across the Midwest. And again, August is going to come out to a very warm month. We had a cool-off at the beginning of August, but I was saying at the beginning of the month, August is going to be warm, and that's what happened. Today, if you lived in Chicago and you were in the Midwest, tomorrow we're supposed to get almost to 100 degrees, or Wednesday, which is just astronomically high for especially late August, late summer, and definitely not unheard of, you know, but definitely just adding on to the things of weirdness, if you will, in 2020. And you could see just the high 90s. Wednesday looks to be the hottest day, just ridiculous temperatures. I mean, basically anywhere you go, excluding maybe portions of the Northeast because of that large storm that does occur across southeastern Canada. It brings back a little bit of dry and cooler weather, but just look at the south and just even the north. I mean, just absolutely remarkable heat. And during the night, not much relief, 70s. The nighttime temperatures that will be occurring should be our daytime highs for parts of the Midwest. So just goes to give you a little bit of an example right there. As we go forward with that large system that we saw tracking across the country, that brings in, you can see a bit of cool air, but it's really right here that we see the cool air stored up right here. Again, as I said, the west is most likely going to remain warm, but look, you could just see that defined cold front during the night, 50s, 40s, and 60s, way less compared to, you know, I mean, look, these are 70s. This is what the nighttime lows will look like for much of the country today, and this is the daytime high. So you can see much of a relief and some much needed cooler air, but again, it looks as if it's still a bit up for a gamble, depending on where this exactly sets up, but it looks to be more centered across the central part of the country, and looks as if a lot of the west will be warm, but definitely not all parts of it. Parts of the northwest may get a bit of cooler air. You could see maybe Montana, Wyoming, but that will kind of lead to some of that snow early occurring across Yellowstone. That's definitely could be the case, but you could see generally some cooler air moving in. And if I were to show you the GFS, which I should have focused a bit more on this in this video, I like to show the models equally, but again, these videos I want to go over slowly, not just like run through these models. And usually European is the highly more regarded model, but I want to show you the consistency, which has just been remarkable. And notice that right now we see that storm, it blows up just like the European shows it. We see a bit of quiet period time. We see that little weak low pressure, that exactly what the European was showing. We have Tropical Storm Laura, Hurricane Laura, and again, we see the combination of these two systems. The GFS has it a bit weaker correlation between these two systems. The European likes to connect them a bit more, but definitely it does drop a lot of precipitation across the Northeast, much more than the European. And as we move forward around that Monday into Tuesday timeframe, we see that megalossus storm just developing. I don't know if that's a word. It just develops and drops a huge cold front, dose of cooler air, right? And it kind of spins back around. We see another shot of rain right there possibly, and we just see the 540 line getting closer and closer. But the European doesn't go out this far, but the GFS in this time puts out another large system, a huge monster, and this one delivers quite a bit of cooler air. And so yeah, just extremely active pattern. It looks as if there's going to be many occasions for rain, and you can see the next 384 hours look pretty generous with rainfall. Lots of purples. The west staying drier, but you know, unfortunately they are going to be seeing a bit for sure, but not enough to satisfy the needs. But that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya.